All right, Okay, today is December. We're going to be talking about fraction of a measurement. The objectives are to convert a measurement expressed as a fraction of a unit to a smaller unit. We are talking about fractions of a measurement. The objective is to convert a measurement expressed as a fraction of a unit to a small unit. 10th, fraction of a measurement. The objective is to convert a measurement expressed as a fraction of a unit to a smaller unit. Here is a conversion of measurements. If you can memorize those, that would be. Here is our conversion measurements. And this will we will always want to remember that. If you can memorize this, great. If not, you can have it nice and handy for you. 2 meters. How many is 2 meters? If I know that 1 meter is 100 centimeters, 2 meters is going to be 200 centimeters. 7 kilograms to grams. Well, 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. So this is going to be 7,000 grams. 2 days equals how many hours? Well, 1 day equals 24. So 24 times 2, 48. 2 days equals how many minutes? All right, so we need to multiply 48 hours times 60 minutes, which will give me 2,880 minutes. 8 minutes equals how many seconds? Each minute is 60 seconds, so 60 times 8 is 480 seconds.
I can do it.
3 gallons equals how many quarts? Well, 1 gallon equals 4 quarts, so 3 times 4 is 12. 2 days equals how many hours? We just did that up here, 48. All right, so multiplying fractions and putting them in the simplest form. 2/5 times 10. The whole number is 10 over 1. So 2 times 10 is 20. 5 times 1 equals 5. Can 5 go into 20 evenly? Yes, 4 times. Actually, we probably did those in class, so let's go to C, F, I, and L. 3/4 times 18. 18 over 1. 3 times 18. 54. 4 times 1, 4. Now I can reduce that. 4 goes into 54. Well, 4 goes into 40 10 times. And then we have 14 left. And it doesn't go in there evenly. So, there was 24 left. So 4 goes into 24 6 times. So a total of 16. 20 times 3/8. Let me erase some of this stuff so we can get organized. The whole number is 20 over 1. 20 times 3 equals 60. 1 times 8 equals 8. How many times does 8 go into 60 without going over? 7 times. 7 times 8 is 56, so subtract 56, and you get 4/8, and I can reduce that down to 7 1/2. Let me erase this. Complete the next 2. Try to do them in your head if you can. That will be the best indicator if you're understanding this or not. So 11/4 times 10. 10 over 1. 11 times 10 equals 110. 4 times 1 is 4. So if I do 110 divided by 4, so 27 2/4, I can reduce that to 1/2. Let's go on to the next one. 16 times 13 12. So Is there an easier way to do this? I don't know. Good enough. So 16 over 1 times 13/12. 16 times 13. I did that real quick right here, so it's going to be 208 over 12. Now, how many times does 12 go into 208 without going over? And that would be 17 times with 4/12. I can reduce that to 17 and 1/3. Now again, find the value. Let's do B, D, and F. 1/5 of 50, or 150 over 1. Let's just put all the fractions so we don't have to do that later. Now for B, 1 times 50 of means to multiply. 50 over 5. How many times does 5 go in there evenly? 10. 1 times 300. 300 over 3. How many times does 3 go into 300? 100 times. 2 times 100. 200. 5 times 1. 5. How many times does 5 go into 200? 40. Now here we have for number 8, how many months are there in 5/6 of the year? So 5/6 of the year, of means to multiply. 5/6 times 12, or 12 over 1. 5 times 12 is 60. 60 over 6 times 1 is 6, which will equal 10. 10 months. Express 3/5 meter in centimeters. So 3/5 meters equals 3/5 times 100, or 100 over 1. 3 times 100 is 300. 5 times 1 is 5. That will equal 60 centimeters. Now some of these we could do in our head, but let's put them in fractions. 1/2 a minute equals how many seconds? Well, you know that it's going to be 30, but let's do 1/2 times 60 over 1, 60 over 2, 30 seconds. How about 7/6 kilogram? How many is that in grams? So we know that we need to multiply it by 1,000. So 7/10 times 1,000. It's always over 1. 7,000 over 10. It's going to be 700. Let's do F. 1/6 of an hour equals how many minutes? So I'm going to be multiplying 1/6 times how many minutes? 60. And that's going to be over 1. 1 times 60 is 60. 6 times 1, 6. Divide 10. 10 minutes. Let's try 2/3 of a yard. How many yards equal a feet? How many feet are there in a yard? There's 12. So 2/3 times 12. 12 over 1. So 24 over 3. 3 goes into 24 8 times. 8 feet. Now if we're multiplying with a whole number, express 2 3/4 hours in hours and minutes. We're just going to transfer over the 2 hours. So now we have 3/4 hour times how many minutes? 60. 60 over 1. 3 times 60 equals 180 divided by 4, because 4 times 1 is 4. 180 divided by 4. 45, 2 hours and 45 minutes. All right, so we're going to do B, D, and F. So we're going to transfer the 4 yards over. 2/3, how many feet are in a yard? 3 feet in a yard. So we're going to multiply by 3, or 3 over 1, 6 over 2. 2 goes into 6 3 times, so 4 yards and 3 feet. 3.5 kilometers equals how many kilometers and how many meters? 3 kilometers, just transfer that over, and half a kilometer times 1,000, because there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. Over 2, sorry, I have a sneeze coming. Oh, sorry, over 1. 1,000 over 2, it's going to be 500. So 3 kilometers, 500 meters. And 6 1/4 years. 6 years, 1/4 times how many months are in a year? 12. 12 over 1, 12 over 4, 3 months. Now your homework is to complete exercise 10. Although it's right here, there's also an assignment for this. Find the equivalent measurements. So you have A through H, and then write each of the following in compound units. So this is what we just did. So transfer this 3 over here, the 2 over here, 4 here, 4, oh, they already did the 4. Transfer the 2 over, the 5 over, and the 3 over. So now what you're doing is you are finding 1/4 of an hour. How many minutes in an hour? There are 60. I won't finish this for you though. A half a day, how many hours are in a day? 24. 2/5 of a liter. How many milliliters in a liter? Times it by 1,000. I had to look at that one. Kilograms, how many grams? 1/4. Grams, how many grams are in a kilogram? I believe that's 1,000 as well. Yes, so times 1,000. 3/4 of a, how many in ounces? 3/4. How many ounces are in a pound? 16. And then kilometers to, I believe it's meters, 7/8 times, there are 1,000 meters in a kilometer. There you go. Good luck.